Hello, and welcome to Intermittent Fasting for the Win podcast. I'm your host, Mike Saunders, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. A little about me: I've shed over 80 pounds and counting and regained my health by embracing this incredible lifestyle of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has changed my life in so many ways that it would take an entire podcast to go over them. So let me ask you, are you ready to take your fasting to the next level and unlock its full potential? Well, you've landed in the right spot. We'll be interviewing fellow fasters from all walks of life, shining a light on their progress, their struggles, and their victories. Stick with us because we've got all this and more in store to help you become a winner through intermittent fasting. In today's podcast, we've got Martin Sher in the studio with us. He's going to be telling us about his journey with intermittent fasting, about his book, The Journey to Thin Land, and about his Facebook group, Permanent Weight Loss. Stay tuned, and we'll get started. I'm here today with Martin Sher. Martin, where do you live?
I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
Wonderful city.
It sure is. I've been there all my life. Love it.
Well, Martin's down here today with me, and we're going to just talk for a little bit and learn a little bit about Martin and what he's up to and why he's doing it and this, that, and other. So, Martin, you have a Facebook group called Permanent Weight Loss.
Yes, sir.
And it's a wonderful little group.
Thanks.
And my wife and I are both members of it, and we enjoy a lot of the stuff you post on there. And you post stuff differently than I do on my Facebook group. We were talking about this just a little while ago. You post everything from a logical aspect, and I post everything from an emotional aspect. Tell me, what got you started with intermittent fasting?
Okay, well, hey, when Jen talks, it's a short story or a long story when everybody does this. Mine's kind of a long story, but I'm going to try to make it concise. I lost weight by eating less and exercising more. Nobody can do that, Mike. Nobody can do that. But I had to do that because I was CEO of my company and I could run my business, but I couldn't run my own body. Had all the bad habits in the world.
Crazy, ain't it?
It's crazy, but I had them all. I lost the weight. It took me 10 years, a full decade to lose 40 pounds. I was going to lose 50. And then I learned about intermittent fasting from Jen Stevens. I was going through a bookstore and I found Fast, Feast, Repeat.
Nobody told you about that?
No, nobody told me. At the time, I was looking to maintain my 40-pound weight loss. That's all I really wanted to do in life. And I see this book, Fast, Feast, Repeat. And I read the thing in one afternoon. I just read the whole thing. And I said, this is just a godsend because I have to maintain my weight for the rest of my life. And that was really on my mind. I didn't know if I could do that because I'd never done it before. And I read that book and it was an epiphany, this is exactly what I've been looking for in life.
Well, let me ask you a question. Were you a yo-yo dieter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes would be the answer. I tried every diet known to me.
And then you'd always bounce back.
I'd always bounce back. I'd lose, 5 pounds and then I'd gain it back. I'd lose 10 pounds, I'd gain it back. But most of the time, I gained 40 pounds over 40 years. But all that is 1 pound per year, which is a stick of gum a day, just about. That's what it takes to do that. And I exercise like crazy, Mike. And I did all that kind of stuff. but I couldn't control my eating. My eating behavior was horrible.
Mm. Mm.
So anyway, I read that book, and I knew it was for me. I started doing it. I took the Band-Aid off, and after about 3 days, I was doing 20, 21 hours a day of fasting.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
I just rip it off.
I just ripped it off, and I started doing it. I was hungry as hell for the first week or two or three. And so when it got to be my eating window, I ate everything in sight, and I figured out, you really can't do that, because I felt terrible the next day, So anyway, I just kind of got it figured out, and I started doing it, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't believe that everybody isn't doing this. I don't understand it.
I can't believe that it. Once I was introduced to it, the simplicity of it, it's just like, that's all I got to do is just skip breakfast and maybe skip lunch. We were just talking just a few minutes before we started rolling the camera. It's sitting here, it's right at noon right now, and both of us are sitting here. Did you have breakfast?
No, I've never had breakfast.
I haven't eaten breakfast in over a year.
I hadn't eaten breakfast in probably 4 to 5 years. And even before that, when I was doing eat less and exercise more, I didn't start eating really to 10:30 or 11 because I was never hungry. So I guess I was doing about a 14 or 15 hour.
But both of us are sitting here right now.
Not hungry.
We haven't had any breakfast.
No.
And we're no intention of having any lunch.
No, we're not going to, unless somebody made us do it, I think. I don't want lunch, do you?
No, I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry.
and it's so hard for people to understand that. Have you run across people? I do this quite often, and I try to, because I like to tell people about intermittent fasting.
I do the same, but a lot of people don't like to tell people
they don't
about
want
it.
to. And here's one. They'll say, I can't do that. And I say, why not? And I'm sure you've heard this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if I don't eat, my blood sugar will drop and I'll just go hypoglycemic. And I said, well, you might for a few days, I said, but after a few days of starting to fast, I said, everything's going to level out. And you won't have those spikes and dips and crashes, in the afternoon.
You actually get energy and good mood and all these other things that come with it. People aren't thinking about that.
I know. I go to the gym 4 days a week. The guys that I work out with, they are all talking about, well, I had this for breakfast, and they feel like they have to eat this huge breakfast to fuel them to be able to work out. I'll be over there doing the same things they're doing, and I hadn't had anything to eat. And
they're probably worried to death about you, aren't they?
They were to start with. They said, I don't see how you do that. I said, I don't see how you do what you're doing. I said, if I were to eat a big old breakfast, I come in here, I wouldn't even feel like working out.
I'd want to take a nap.
Yeah.
I just woke up.
So how long now have you been fasting?
I've been doing it for I think it was December of 2020. So that's like 4 years and 4 months or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I would never ever think of doing anything else but this the rest of my life. I'm a year older than you. I think we figured out. There isn't anything that could make me change this way of life. I just feel too good, and we talked about it. We're going to live like we're going to live to 100 years old. We might not make it, but we're going to try to feel as good as we can until
I want to go as long as I can until it's my appointed time, and then when my appointed time gets here, I want to crash and burn straight down. Just go ahead and take me out.
Yeah, and they probably won't be having breakfast in heaven anymore.
No, they won't be. No, they've got to be fasting up there. So, another question comes to mind. When you break your fast, what's your most common thing to break a fast with? Do you have a go-to?
Well, I've had different things at different times, and right now it's pistachios.
Pistachios.
That's what I eat. And let me tell you the reason I do that because my biggest eating behavior problem was I ate too fast.
Yeah.
So
I'm raising my hand over
you
here.
do that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so pistachios, you can't eat pistachios fast.
No, you can't.
So I have to always concentrate still on eating slowly, and I've had to work at it for years.
So you don't buy your pistachios already hulled?
No, that would be dangerous. That would be dangerous. I could eat them really fast.
Yeah. See, I did that too. For years I worked in the trades.
Mm-hmm.
With maintenance and electrical and stuff like that. And the company I worked for 20 years, we had 20 minutes for lunch. And I like to eat my lunch and then take about a 10-minute power nap. So I'm used to just...
Yeah, that's what I did all my life. I was right there.
You eat and you go.
But pistachios are great fruit if you're a fast eater. You just can't eat them fast.
I'll have to try that.
But let me tell you something I learned about that, because when we come home for dinner, we're ready to eat, right? We're kind of ready. We're hungry. We hadn't eaten all day. And if you have pistachios, and say I have like 25, 30 pistachios in a bowl, it'll take me on purpose like maybe 15, 20 minutes to get through them. And we start feeling satiety at 20 minutes. So even though I was so hungry when I started eating them, and I ate one at a time on purpose, I knew I wasn't going to starve to death, or I'd have starved to death already. And after I've done it for 20 minutes, my appetite is really not near like it was when I started eating those pistachios. It's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
So I just don't eat quite as much as dinner as if I didn't have that, because I'd want to stuff it in and stuff. It's just a good habit for me. It just works for me really well.
That's a good thought. I'm gonna have to check that out and see, because I like pistachios.
Get the salt
too.
And pepper pistachios. I get
salt and
pepper pistachios.
Get out of here!
They are unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. I get them at Costco for those that have a Costco around.
Yeah, I'm sure they got them at Sam's too.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah.
We do a lot of shopping at Sam's. So, what would you say to someone who wants to try intermittent fasting, but maybe they're just right there teetering on the edge of
where they're sort of thinking about it? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would, I'm kind of aggressive with it and everything. And I would tell them, just try to do this and say, what did you do last night? What time did you quit eating? And what time did you start eating this morning? And then I'd say, increase that by 1 minute, by 5 minutes, by 10 minutes each day, whatever you want to do. But just do what you did last night and start just adding a few minutes every day to it. Or you can go fast. You can add an hour. You can add a half an hour, but add 5 minutes a day after you've done that for a year, which you're going to stay on this if you're doing this job, this lifestyle. Then you'll have in 1 year, and the year's going to pass anyway. Just start fasting into your year as fast as you want, and you'll eventually lose your appetite after a while at this amount, at this pace, and then on and on. But it's I just tell them, take it as slow or fast or anywhere in between, but do it. Anyone that has a weight problem should be doing this lifestyle. So do what you did last night and go from there.
I've heard you say that before. Even though this is our first time meeting in person, I've heard you say that before. You know how I've heard you say that before?
I have no idea.
Because I've read your book.
Oh.
Yeah. See, in the process of helping you edit the book and this, that, and other, of course, I've had to read it. I've read it about 2 or 3 times now.
Wow.
Because I go through it and I want to make sure that everything's right before you get a hold of it and do what you got to do. And so I've heard that before because it's in that book.
Yeah, I call it the 1 minute secret shortcut to thin land.
Yes. I couldn't put that time, but you put it on there. And it's true. It's like I went to Dale Carnegie. Went to Dale Carnegie's 13-week course, management training. And one of the things that they say is you can eat an entire elephant if you do it one bite at a time.
Yeah.
I know
right.
you've heard that.
Yeah. That's a good program you went through.
Oh, it is. It's
That's
a wonderful program. But this is it's the same principle as what you're talking about. 1 minute at a time.
Yeah.
Keep pushing back that time that you're going to start eating.
Just one bite at a time. That's all elephants do.
Yeah, and that's such a wonderful thing. Which brings us to Martin has written a fantastic book. What's the title of your book?
The Journey to Thin Land.
The Journey to Thin Land. And Thin Land is the place that you arrive at and stay there for the rest of your life.
That's right. That's where all us intermittent fasters, that's where we live.
That's where we live.
And it's a wonderful community. It's just a wonderful community.
Right now, that book is in the, it's still in the editing mode.
Yep.
And
thank you, Mike Saunders, for doing
no,
that.
No.
I'm terrible at technology, so thank God for you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad that I could help with that. But I want to point to it, and I want people to be on the lookout for it. And if you're seeing this video or you're hearing this podcast and the book is already out, I encourage you to buy a copy of that book because, like I said, Martin approaches everything. You were the CEO of your company.
The family business,
yeah. And he has the mindset of a CEO. And the book is tailored in that direction, but yet it's very technical, but it's very easy to read and understand at the same time. It's a lot of common sense stuff. And listen, if the book's already out, buy it. If you're seeing this and the book's not out, be looking for it. And it'll be advertised on his group, on my group, Intermittent Fasting for the Win. What's the name of your group again?
Permanent Weight Loss.
Permanent Weight Loss, and it's going to be on What If Intermittent Fasting, and it's going to be on all the Facebook groups, I'm sure. And we're putting together, Martin's putting together a marketing plan. And he's going to help me with that too.
Oh, I absolutely will. And when I was doing some business, I did some marketing work. That was my major in college. So I really enjoy all that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I want those books out there is just because I want to help people. That's all I want to do. Whatever money I get is going to be donated to charity. And I have a place where I send that. So I just want to help as many people as I possibly can, just like you. That's what you're all about.
Mm-hmm. That's what I want to do. That's why, folks ask me, well, there's already Facebook groups out there for intermittent fasting. Why did you create one? I said, because I found out a long time ago that you can take a story, and if I tell the story, there's X amount of people that can relate to the way I tell the story. And there's X amount of people that can relate to the way that you're telling the story in your book.
Mm-hmm.
My book is the one that I'm working on, fixing to publish. It comes from a whole different perspective than your book does.
I can't wait to read that.
Well, I can't.
You're going to have to finish losing all the weight you're going to lose because I'm ready to read it.
Well, it won't be long. It won't be long. I'm going to go ahead and put it out, and you'll understand. And it's been such a blessing to have you here today.
Well, thank you. And it's been a blessing to know you. And I knew, I mean, we're about the same age. We grew up in the same world.
You just have more hair than I do.
Well, yeah, it's going fast. I'm just tall. But, it's just a pleasure to meet you. And, I went and met April Hall, ate her restaurant in Eva. And I took my whole family up there, my brother-in-law, and this, that, and the other, and it was wonderful. I just have to give her a plug. Anybody near Eva, go eat at that restaurant. But it's so much fun. I feel like I know you so well. I know your heart and your mind just from how you post and how people respond to you.
Yeah.
So I just had to come down here and meet you.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
And congratulations on that book. I'm serious, folks. This is an awesome book that Martin's put together.
Thank you so much. That's
Awesome.
kind of you to say.
It's been so great to have you here today, and I wish you a safe journey on the way back home. And we'll put this podcast on the air, and God bless you,
Thank you
Martin.
so.
If you need more information on fasting and want to join a group of people who embrace this lifestyle, let us recommend that you go to Facebook and search for Intermittent Fasting for the Win, and also search for Clean Fasting Jolene. Either of these groups will help you along the way. We also recommend that you read Jen Stevens' books, Delay, Don't Deny, and Fast, Feast, Repeat. Both of these books will give you valuable information to help you in your intermittent fasting journey.